I know how fucked it is. I know how fucked it is. That's why I don't want to do this. So, if you're new here, this is my first car. 1974 3003 Beetle. Static. Yes, it's static. Link pin front beam conversion, short axle and swing axle conversion on the rear. Obviously now wide 5 all the way around. Used to be 4 stud. And yeah, it's damaged. This car is pretty bad. Now, when I was young, this car was never meant to stay. This car was always going to be a quick get it back on the road, drive around for a year or two, then sell it and get something that's worth more than £4. That's not bolted on. Oh, right, oh, there you go. This is the only reason I bought this car. It was on fire before I bought it. It still is cool, but at the time that was like the most incredible thing that would ever happen to anyone. Just have a Beetle on fire and carry on driving it. Now, if you watch the videos, I always bring this car up. I always talk about it. And someone told me the other day, they were like, "You're not going to build that car. You're going to build another car from scratch in 4 months instead of fixing that car." And I was hurt by that, because that is so true. You know, from that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. And then I remembered, as soon as I came into the workshop this morning, this car is fucked. I've destroyed this car. I've proper damaged it. I did nothing but just bodge it together continuously, pretty much the whole time I owned it. Because all I wanted to do was get it back on the road and drive it again. You know, there were some stages where I went and did lots of good things to it, replaced everything. You know, realistically, every bush and brake line and brakes, everything is all new. But it's a bit weird because all I did was drag it around on the floor continuously for like 2 years. So, yeah, bad. So I'm gonna empty it. The first stage of fixing your own car is stop using it as a fucking shed. This is lame. This has gotta go. I mean, this is so gotta go. All of this. I'm gonna clean all the windows. I've had enough. This is cat sick. This is a Slam Sanctuary sticker from like 20 million years ago. This is OG. If you know, you know. Yeah. Yeah, it's a shed. This is cool though. So, the window mechanism snapped, so me and Andy did this. How good's that? Now, I can't remember what the last thing I did to the car was. I put a really leery gearbox in this car. It's built for like drag races and sand rails, etc, etc. It's built for a lot of brake horsepower. Now, I only got it because I was snapping drive shafts constantly in this car. And yeah, I got the holy grail of gearboxes, in my opinion, for this car. And then during that process, I never finished it, and there was a lot of modification that was needed to get that in this car. So I'm gonna empty it now and have a look and see what I go on. First issue, right, massive issue, the new gearbox that I put in with new mounts and stuff, I've raised the gearbox so high that I've lost a lot of the camber on the back. Now, I don't want that. I want to lower the engine and gearbox, gain the camber back, because I want to run 17s on this car now. It's always had 15s on it. The car's built for 15s. Look how much tuck there is. Imagine if there was a 17 on there. That would look so good. I can see there's been mice in there chewing shit up. This car's gonna be me. I'm gonna put some gloves on and start emptying it and getting a look at how much I fucking bastardized everything back in the day when I didn't even have a unit. The last time I touched this car was on my mum's drive, so yeah. I didn't even have a welder at that point, so I don't know what I was playing at. Oh, there's an actual fucking mice nest in there. Fuck. I can smell it, you fuckers. That's all piss, you fucking... Oh man! This one, I can stink, man. What the fuck? I've never smelt this. That's awful. Yeah. Well, time to throw the car away. Look what I found. Krakow Turbo Series. I gave this thing a hoover. Look at that. Look at that. That's red, isn't it? Everything is red. It stinks in here. What the fuck is that? Oh. Oh man, it smells so bad. Anyway, as you can see, there's a big hole there. And that's because that is a bay window gearbox, which is not meant to fit in this car. And obviously that affects all of the throttle cable and heater controls and stuff like that. And I remember I used a gasless welder to tack that on there, and I think all of the cables, etc., worked. Obviously I cut the seat, and I've got a panel for this bit here. That's a nice panel. That's made by Paul Coltec, I do believe. It came with the gearbox, because obviously it was in a Beetle before. It was actually in Piper McGraw's rotary Mark 1 Golf body dropped Beetle pan thing back in the day. That was what was in it. And he got that box for the same reason. He wanted camber and he wanted to use all the power. So that's why he got that box. So the problem we have now is that then gets rid of the handbrake, and then the shift rod, if I can get it. Oh. That basically now runs through the car, and then I need to build a pedal stall for the shifter. There's supposed to be something like cut out there, and I can't find it now. I'm sure it's out here somewhere. Anyway, I've got to build a pedal stall for the gear shifter to raise the gear shifter up. I've also cut a massive hole in here, which is full of straw. And yeah, we have problems like this. You know? That's outside. That's actually outside. And that's also outside. And the pedals, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, look at the floor. The floor is flexing with the pedals. It's actually got brake pressure. Yeah, the whole floor is flexing. It's nasty in here. Everything's really bad. You know, there's no fuses in here either. Great. So yeah. Now, the main problem I have with this car is that it's absolutely destroyed. Ideally, I need to take the body off, do the pan, like brand new it. The bulkhead and everything on the front, rotten. Rear is okay, but it's ropey. Everything on this car is so ropey. And it's like, it just needs redoing everything. Floors, inner arches. It's got no inner arches. And once this car was done, it was never finished. So there's no inner arches. You can see down there, I just had these bits. I chucked them in there and never finished the car. So yeah, it needs tubs, but then you get stuff like this. Like, the whole car's destroyed, you know, you can see through there. And it's like, it's never gonna be mint, I know, but there's a lot that needs doing to make it drivable to the standard that I want nowadays. Like, I don't drive cars like this anymore. Like, I'm over that stage of my life. I need to do it fresh build, get in, drive it everywhere. The loom on this thing, ugh. So, I lost the keys on this. We lost the keys, and yeah, I had to break in. So there is now no key in there. Even though I found the keys now, you can see how bad the floor is. Where do you start, man? But yeah, oh yeah, the loom is just destroyed in this car. It's always been fucked. It used to have all of these buttons, cable tied to the handbrake. So this was to start the car. This is a bulb holder. That was the oil pressure light. This, my alternator stopped working. So that would send, if you turn the car on, press that, it would send 12 volts to the alternator and it would jump into life. So the alternator was wired to that and then it would start charging again. If you didn't do that, it wouldn't charge again. So that's fucked. And then this was to start the car. So that was the start button. You just turn the ignition on there and then you'd press start with that bit. So yeah. And also every corner of the car is like hacked to fuck wire-wise, like all the lights and stuff, always just going wrong. I ripped the passenger front loom out of the headlight the first day I got it back on the floor. So it needs a new loom, it needs a new floor, it needs inner arches, it needs all the gear shifter working, it needs the pedals sorting. It's really bad, but 10 years I've had this car, 10 years. It just reminded me how fucked this car is. It's so bad, so bad. We got that panel in there. I made that when I was 16, you know, it's not very nice. Ugh, disgusting. So like, where do I go from here? August is when I want it done. That's quite a long way away, but in the grand scheme of things, body off, replace everything, put it back on, build the car, put it back together. There's a lot of work. And I've got a lot of customer cars to do at the same time, so it's not like I just drop everything to do this. Even though I wish I could. So I'm in this predicament now, because now the workshop stinks of piss, and the car is still as fucked as I imagined it was. So that's nice. And obviously I need wheels for the car, this valance. I cut it off like an idiot, so there's not a lot left of it. I used to just weld it on. Every time I took the engine out, I would just stack some tacks on there. This car is just destroyed. It's all good having a car like this every now and then. And you remember, the car is just a nail, absolute nail. Like, I wouldn't. Also, if I put 17s on it, I need to tub all the inner arches at the back. I have to tub the rear as well as the front. And at the same time, it's like, well, you're going the full hog, you might as well tidy the engine bay up because it's so ropey. This is just, it's just, ugh. Why is there no dipstick? Oh. So yeah, that's just the insight to how destroyed this car actually is. So, what do I do? What do I do? Do I take the body off and create a massive headache? Or do I just let it sit and forget it exists? Any normal, sane person would have just thrown this car away. But I just can't. I just can't do it. It's just so fucked. I want to put it on the mezzanine and leave it there. But I feel like it's a duty to get it done now. And it's quite high up there, so I don't know if I better get up there on my own. So this is going to be expensive as well.